West Hall was abuzz with activity as concerned community groups and the general public gathered to address the issues of proposed reductions in library hours and funding in the region. Promptly at 10 o'clock, the meeting commenced, with Mayor Trent Sullivan and councillors Melissa Cadwell, Eddie Contelge, Jim Mason, Ron Nelson, and Deputy Mayor Anthony Aitken present, ready to answer questions from the attendees. Question time began shortly thereafter, with each person allowed only 1 minute to present their queries. Throughout the meeting, tensions rose as much of the focus was on Mayor Trent Sullivan's reluctance to address community concerns during the previous council meeting's question time. Karen Firth, a dedicated member of the Save Barwon Heads Library Group, directly confronted Mayor Sullivan regarding this issue. In response, Mayor Sullivan explained that he had received advice stating that extending question time beyond the allocated 45 minutes was not considered best practice due to time constraints. He further elaborated, stating, "The meeting before the last one, I extended it to approximately 90 minutes to ensure everyone's voice was heard. However, I understand that deviating from the recommended time is not ideal. The advice given to me was to revert question time back to 45 minutes to proceed with the rest of the meeting and to show respect to all attendees eager to discuss other agenda items. This is why meetings like this one are incredibly significant." Another passionate advocate, Angela Carr, representing the Save Geelong West Library, directed her question to Mr. Contelge, seeking justification for reducing library hours amidst a cost of living crisis. Mr. Contelge firmly stated that there was absolutely no justification for such reductions. He assured the attendees that the City of Greater Geelong was already allocating $13.9 million to fund the region's libraries and more negotiations with the Geelong Regional Library Corporation would continue. He emphasised, "We are determined to keep all libraries open." With a total sum of $760,000 between our two organisations, we should certainly find the means to fully cover this expense. Geelong TV had the opportunity to interview two attendees, capturing their perspectives on the matter. They had this to say.
I'm really glad that a lot of community representatives came from all the different libraries around Geelong, and it was our opportunity to have our unanswered questions actually acknowledged and addressed in a meaningful way, which we were really disappointed at that public meeting last week, that we didn't get the opportunity to put our questions to the council and to get some answers to that. We're still really disappointed with the fact that there is no further funding that the council has added since that draft budget. So we're hearing a lot of words about how important libraries are and how much the council values them, but they are still not adequately funding them. So we're going to continue raising our voices, speaking to council, speaking publicly, and speaking to people in the community to keep that pressure on, because we are unsatisfied at the moment.
Today's meeting was interesting, raised some interesting points, did not answer a lot of questions appropriately, I don't think, as was the case with the previous meeting at the council. We get a lot of cookie cutter answers around large sums of money, but nothing in detail, and at the end of the day nobody's committed any extra money to this process. So closures, cuts, all of those things will eventually happen if we don't get those dollars committed primarily by the council.
Meanwhile, a motion was passed during the meeting, calling for the restoration of all Geelong regional libraries to their pre-COVID hours. This motion will be formally presented to elected members at the upcoming council meeting for further consideration. As the meeting drew to a close, Mayor Sullivan expressed gratitude to all the organisers for their meticulous efforts in planning the event. He stressed the importance of sustaining the conversation and working towards a resolution that effectively addresses the concerns of the community. Mayor Sullivan concluded, "This has been the most loudness and most passionate and most convincing groups of people on a topic on any of my 5 years on council.